Hello there and welcome. My name's Suzanne from Nonstop Papercrafts and thank you for joining me on my channel. So today we're going to be having a look at making some specimen cards. So I've been playing around with different sizes, even different shapes. I know a circle is not a traditional specimen card shape, but yeah, I've just been having fun having a play with the paper, and I want to show you how I made these. So hopefully that will inspire you to have a go yourself. Right, let's take a look at some of these. So as I said, I was playing around with shapes, so I did these two in a circle shape. So I had a rose petal leaf, which I just think looks absolutely gorgeous in this. And then just with some stamping, making it look a little bit more like a specimen card, giving them a number. I also have this one. So this one has a bit more of a kind of decorative cards that I use. So this one, I don't know if you can see that very well on here, if it focuses. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's a slightly patterned paper, but this one has a more sort of defined pattern that you can kind of see, which I think kind of adds to it as well. And again, just some stamping to make it look a bit more like a specimen card. Got this slightly larger one, so this one has a leaf. I love the way that the leaves have kind of folded over as well a little bit in there. And again, some stamping. This one's a little bit sort of like taller, so there's more space at the bottom. And again, some stamping. There's another leaf. And then these are larger ones, and the final one so as you see, I've been playing around, like I say, with sizes, with the types of card that I use to try and see whether what sort of patterns look best. I've tried to look at different shapes. So this one's obviously got a larger piece for bits of writing, this one's got a very tiny piece. So yeah, just having a little play, but I will show you how I put these together. Okay, so some things that you will need are some dried flowers or leaves. You can buy them, so they come in packs. You can buy them Etsy, eBay. I don't know if Amazon do things like this, but you can buy them in little packs if you want to. Or my sister actually did these for me. Whenever my mum or her have a bunch of flowers from their other half, she just dries them out when they start wilting and dying. So she's done these for me. So I'm going to be using these today. If you don't have access to either flowers or dried flowers, you can obviously just go outside your front door. I actually found these just going out for a little walk. They're probably even a weed, not really even a flower, but I thought they looked pretty anyway. So yeah, you can find things just as you go out for a walk. Or something I have seen people use, so these are clear stickers. I actually got these from AliExpress. You can kind of see what there is on the back because obviously they are clear. So obviously you want to be able to have something where there's both sides. If you're not fussed about that, then obviously it doesn't matter. You can also fussy cut images. So this is a butterfly from a kit that I've printed. So I could print two of them, glue them back to back, so I have something on either side and use that. So that's another option. But yeah, for today I'm going to be using a mixture of different petals and leaves. Okay, as far as sealing it is concerned, so making obviously the little plastic wrap, there are a couple of options. So you could use cellophane. So you could use a cellophane bag, pop what you want in the bag, and then obviously it will get sealed around with the cardboard. So that's an option. You could use sheets of acetate, but I am going to be using a laminating pouch, just because I think when it goes through the laminator, it does two things. So it really flattens out the item inside, and I think just giving it that extra seal, so you know that it is secure in there, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so it's sealed in and it just makes it so nice and flat. So I will be using a laminating pouch for the demonstration today. But just to show you that there are other options if you don't have access to a laminator or have any laminating pouches. Right, so to start, I'm just going to start laying my petals and leaves in here. I will be kind of spreading them out slightly because obviously I do need some space to be able to cut around so that they fit in one of these. So all you do is literally just lay them down. Oh, this leaf's slightly torn, but that's fine. We should still be able to make it work. Obviously it doesn't matter if they're straight at this point because obviously you can cut whatever shape you want. But yeah, just arrange them however you'd like them to look within the folder. Right, and I've got these ones in the little bags. So I'm just going to grab a couple. Yeah, this one's dying to be used, clearly. Keeps hopping out the bag. Okay, so I've got those 3 together. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Oh, this looks lovely. I have no idea what any of these are, so yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I just know that they look pretty. I'm going to share that out so I get a couple. Let's spread it out a little bit. Okay, and then my last one. Do a couple of those. Okay. So once you are happy with the arrangement, just gently pop your other one back over. You will find that obviously because of the static they will start to cling. So if something moves somewhere you don't want, so for example that one's moved, I'm just going to push it back in. And then I run this through the laminator twice. So the first time I run it through with the cardboard sleeve that normally comes with the laminating pouches, and then I'll run it through without, so it gets 2 goes through the laminator. So I'm going to quickly do that now and then show you once it's done. Okay, so here are the flower petals and leaves laminated. I did get a slight crease which I'm a little bit annoyed about, but there we go, that's crafting. You can never predict exactly how it's going to turn out. But yeah, we can still use it, it's fine. So I'm just going to cut them out roughly so there's like a square around each of them or a rectangle, and then I'll show you how we get the card around them. Okay, so I know it's a little bit difficult to see on camera because they are laminated, but as you can see I've left some gap around there because obviously we need to be able to affix it into our card base. Now I haven't measured anything, like I said, have just gone roughly around. It doesn't matter if like some of the edges look really wide, really big, because we can trim it down once we have the card base. But yeah, they all have a bit of a gap all the way around the petal or the leaf. Right, okay, so now to make the cardboard base for our samples to go into. Now, sorry, I thought I had started recording when I started cutting this up, so I do apologise, but what I had was an A4 piece of paper, and I have cut it, as you can see, into quarters, so down the middle and across. This is a digital print. You can actually find it from my Etsy shop. It is a tea-dyed paper that has been scanned in, and I've just printed it onto 160 GSM, well, it's like a thick paper or a thin card. It's not too thick, but it is sturdier obviously than copier paper, because we do want it to be quite sturdy. The laminating sheets will obviously help with the sturdiness, but yeah, you do really want something thicker than your copy of paper. Okay, so like I said, sorry, I did obviously start cutting this up. I thought I was recording, but then realised I wasn't. Okay, so this is going to form one of these specimen cards. So all you do is you fold that in half, and then I did start measuring because, as I said, I thought I was recording. So you just kind of place your specimen on your card and kind of decide what size window you want. So because this is quite a small one, I wanted to leave a kind of border of 1.5 centimeters. So I just started marking that part out. So I've got 1.5 centimeters in. I'm just going to move down a little bit and do the same. So 1.5 centimeters and place a dot. Do the same on the other side. Okay, and I want to come 1.5 centimeters down. Oh, actually, let's line those up and try and see if we can get a straight line. So 1.5 centimeters. So that's where I want my line. Let's try the other side. 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so now we just want to decide how long we want it. Okay, so as you can see, that's already going to be fitting inside there. So how long do we want the pocket or the window? So looking at this, I'm going to guess about 5 centimeters. Okay, which I believe is about 2 inches if you use inches. So I'm just going to measure 5 centimeters and carry on this line. Oh. And the same on the other side. And then just join those two up. Okay, now I'm just going to use my craft knife, and with it folded so that I can cut through both sides, so that way I know that it is even on both sides and I shouldn't have any white showing when it's stuck down. I am just going to cut out this window. So I am going to be applying a little bit of pressure just to, like I say, make sure that I am going through both pieces of card. And then just take it out. Okay, so no matter what side I'm looking at, there isn't any white showing. Now obviously I will rub round just to get rid of those marks. Okay, so our next step is to have our specimen stuck inside. So for this I like to use double-sided tape. You can use a wet glue if you like, but the problem is obviously with the acetate, because it's a shiny surface, then I think sometimes the wet glue doesn't hold it very well and it does move around. So that's why I do like to use double-sided sticky tape, but again, it's what you have available to use. I just would suggest this. So I'm not going to stick it to the actual sample. What I do is I go very close. Oh, got a bit of fluff. I go very close to the window and I just stick around the window. So I don't worry about the entire frame at the moment. I'm literally just going around the window. Okay, like that. And then all you do is you peel your strips back. Oh. Hopefully leaving the tape down. So peel the strips back. then this is obviously where we're going to put the acetate. So we're going to put the sample in first, then we'll worry about how we're going to close it. Okay, so now that's there. Obviously try and get your specimen roughly in the middle. It's not always possible, but just as close to the middle as you can. And then stick it down. It doesn't matter if there's a bit of tape coming at the bottom or if it hasn't quite done all of the acetate, doesn't matter. Acetate or laminating sheet. Okay, now on this side, this is where we obviously want to make sure it sticks. So again, I will go around the window. But I will also now add extra tape around the edge. So you don't need to worry too much about the middle fold, but you do want to make sure that obviously your outer edges are stuck down. Okay, like that. And then same as before, just peel away. Doesn't matter if your tapes overlap slightly. Just doing another video which involved double-sided sticky tape, and I was saying that all my nails seem to be breaking at the moment, so peeling double-sided sticky tape has been quite tricky. Okay, and then all you do is just fold that closed. Okay, now we can neaten up any edges that we need to. So as I say, obviously didn't cut this straight, so we can get rid of that white edge. Make sure it's straight all the way down. Okay, I can see a bit of white edge at the bottom as well, so again just making sure that that's now straight. A teeny bit at the top. I mean, the white edge isn't too bad because obviously we are going to ink, so obviously the ink will cover up some of any white areas, but yeah, there is the base of your card. Okay, so I like to round the edges. Again, this is personal preference, you don't have to, but I'm just going to round my edges like that. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up, and then we'll do some stamping. Okay, I'm really sorry, my phone seems to be having a funny 5 minutes. I thought I was recording again, and I wasn't. So as I said, I was inking up the edges, so I've gone round and distressed the edges. I was now just going round the window just to add a little bit of hue around there as well. So I'm just going to do the back. So I'm using the Distress Ink Vintage Photo. So just popping a little bit on there, and like I said, I'm just going around the border just to create a little bit of hue around the window, just to again give that aged appearance. It's been handled a lot. It's a nice old specimen card. Okay, right, so now to kind of add the stamps. So I have this kind of handwriting stamp, and then I like to use this to kind of pretend that somebody's been handwriting on there. So I'm going to put this one on the back. Now it is obviously bigger than this, so I try and work out how much ink I want to put on. So I'll only put on this top paragraph and then it will look like it's just that part that's written. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to use VersaFine black inks. So as you can see, I'm just doing that top part. Okay, so I'm not doing the bottom part, I'm just doing the top. And then when I stamp it on the back, about there. There you go. It's only done that top part. Okay, so it seems that my phone isn't the only thing having a funny 5 minutes. I have just put this stamp on upside down, I've noticed. Because there's me stamping it that way. And then as you can see, that's not the right way up for the writing. It goes that way. So that's fine. We're going to adapt. We're going to evolve. And I'm going to now have my specimen card this way up. So I'm going to have my specimen wording at the top with my number. Actually, this gives me a bit more room to play around on this side. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, so a happy accident. So yes, I did have my stamp upside down, which didn't help. Okay, to get the specimen on there, I have alphabet stamps, and then I have this handy, it's the We Are Memory Keepers Precision Press. And it is supposed to be on one of those things that kind of clamp down so you can kind of get it in the exact same space all of the time. But obviously I'm only doing this the once, so I don't really need it on there. So I'm just going to ink these up. I'm just measuring to kind of see where I want them, because I may then have a bit more of that text maybe underneath, hopefully this time the right way up. So I'm just trying to think whereabouts I want this. So do I want it over in the corner a little bit, or that corner? Yeah, I think I'll have the number big in the corner, and then we'll do some of that text underneath. So I'm just going to put some ink on there, and as I say, I want the number up in the corner. Push that down. So we've got Specimen 44, and then let's have a look at this stamp properly to make sure that we have got it the right way up. Okay, yeah. So this time I'm just going to do the top 2 lines. I am, however, going to quickly just sort of dab it on this post-it just to make sure that all the ink's off before I start stamping. So I'm just going to do the top 2 lines. There we go. And they're going to go underneath. Like that. So I've got Specimen 44. And then on the back, some more writing. Yes, it's upside down, but never mind. Okay, so just to finish it off a little bit, I did very lightly go over with some more of that kind of writing text around the edges. Then on the back, I kind of stuck my thumb in the ink and just sort of pretending that somebody, you know, has been kind of holding this and has maybe had inky fingers where they've obviously been doing all the writing, dipping their quill in the ink when the specimen card was made. But yeah, there is an example of another specimen card. Okay, so I hope you can see that there is potential to kind of mix it up a little bit. Like I said, I have played around with sizes, shapes, the thickness of the frames. This one, as you can see, is quite thin. I've played with the shapes, so I've got circles. This one was like I say, a happy mistake. It's upside down, but hey, it still works. We still have a specimen card. There are so many different ways you can do these. I really enjoy making these. I must admit, has become a little bit of a thing for me at the moment. Yeah, I'm really enjoying these, so I hope you have a go at making some of these too. If you found this video useful, please click like at the bottom. If you would like to see more crafty videos, such as making pockets, tucks, other pieces of ephemera, even making a journal from scratch, then please click the subscribe button and the bell so that you are notified of any new videos. You can find me on social media. All the links will be in the description below. I'm so happy that you have joined me today and watched this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely crafty day. See you later. Bye bye.